crisis. If I killed your father.
Good morning, everybody. I'm right back from the park. It was the first days in 3 days that I tried to go to the park. And let me take a sip of coffee. Actually, let me back up. On the Monday, when the president was talking about the intelligent lockdown, I was actually having a chat with a student of mine at the same time. It was live. And I was talking to her about this intelligent lockdown. And she told me, well, according to the rules, 1.5 meters of distance, not more than 3 people, then we should still be able to train. I told her, no, it's not possible because, you know, I don't look what people say, I look what they mean. They actually don't want people to be outside at all. So I knew we will have some trouble. So I told her, you know what, let us stay at home, we train at home, and then after a couple of days we will just look outside how it goes. Because during the day people go into a shop and the shop is way more crowded than early in the morning at the park. At the park, this calisthenics place is very big, and they are maybe 2, 3, mostly 4 people, and they are really spread more than 3 meters apart. But I still knew psychology of people is a bit twisted. In certain situations they accept something, but in certain situations they don't accept something even if you obey the rules. I have lots of experience with this type of thing. Anyway, today in the morning I had a good session with my student. We were jumping, we were practicing some jumps, some stuff, and she actually did some new stuff, so I was proud of her. And then when we were really warmed up, a cop came on the motorcycle and he told us, dit kan niet. And he went. He didn't even want to talk. He meant, this is not possible, or you should not do this. But behind him, people were walking in the park, you know, spreading, and he didn't tell them anything. So I told my student, hey, this is exactly what I meant. And what is my opinion about this? I think the corona crisis is one thing, right? We all have to accept the rules, 1.5 meters of distance or 2 meters, don't go outside too much, etc. But becoming fearful is another disease. I am convinced, no matter what scientists tell, if you become too fearful, you will become ill because of your own fear. Yeah, the fear is a real illness. It's not that we have one thing as one. Of course, we should respect the rules and obey them because they are for us all. We really understand that. But to say, to make us fearful, you can still smile, right? So why do I have to walk outside like this? You know, completely stressed out? Because if you get fearful, that is the real disease. And we should be careful not to end up being completely fear. Yeah? And then the cop can say, well, this is not essential. That is not for you to decide. Yeah? I do movement all my life. It is essential for me. So who the hell are you to come on your motorcycle and tell me dit kan niet? And he knew he was also not completely right because he didn't want to engage in a discussion. I know this kind of tactics, they just want to scare you. So yes, we should obey the rules as much as we can. And the president says, use your common sense. Gezonde verstand, right? So we were there really with 3 people or 4, completely spread. And the other people were a bit confused. And what? I told them, he told us not to be here. And they told me, like I was the one that I was telling it, hey, but we are spread. Yeah, I told him yes, but still, the cop is in panic. He was a relative young guy, the cop. So let me take another cup of coffee. I spilled. No matter. It doesn't matter. So yes, don't be fearful. That is the message of this corona crisis. Because fear blocks everything. If you get fear, you start to panic, and when you panic, you make this stress hormones in your body, and yeah, you might as well die. Yeah, and of course, this is a very severe situation, but we should not go completely to the other side. Yeah, as the president told us, we should use our common sense. Yeah, I cannot. I'm a bit irritated because, for example, in Germany, Angela Merkel, she made the real rule. She told, if you work out and you keep the distance outside, you can do that. If you walk outside, you can do that. She at least was more explicit. I'm not a fan of either president, but I'm just talking about she was explicit. Or in Belgium, they made the lockdown, so you cannot go outside. But here they say you should keep distance 1.5 meter of each other. You should not be more than 3, and actually maybe now you should not be more than 2. Okay, and use your common sense. Yes, we are doing all this, and still the cop comes and tells, hey, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. So and this is the problem with not being explicit enough. And of course, everybody starts to panic, and the grabbing in the shops of toilet paper, etc. is completely unnecessary. Yes, so the message of me to you is don't be fearful, because fear leads to panic and it completely blocks your mind. You cannot think clearly, and you will not see a solution. You cannot even think in a normal way. Your IQ drops, and you become like an animal, which is not what we are here for, I think. So that's that. So I'm actually drinking a cup of coffee to finish my workout in my house. I still have time. So I think I'm going to do some handstand work. You can always do handstand. I will try to do them on my parallettes over here. Actually, they're not mine. They're from a friend and student. Just for the variation, I have to do something. So this was a bit a different video than you see me training, only training. Yes, let me see, what can I say more? Now I know. So, in the subject of anti-fragility, I take it serious also in daily life. So we should not be, again, restricted by our environment. If you cannot train in the gym, you train outside. If you cannot train outside, you train in your house. And if you cannot train in your house, you still should find a way how to train. So you should not be, what they call it, you should be very adaptable. So adaptability and anti-fragility is very connected to each other. Of course, there is always a limit, but adaptability is what I learned actually for a long time, because I'm training in this way since 2010 and since 2012 very serious, but I was training in commercial gyms, many around here in Amsterdam, and the way I was training was completely different than what most people do, because in commercial gyms training means you go and grab a barbell, or not even, you go to a device and you just pump the muscle, and you go house and you talk about your protein, you talk about your this and that. And I had around 2010, I had the idea, I really wanted to do something new, and I wanted to take time to learn the bodyweight training. I was inspired by, like all of you guys, by YouTube videos. I said, wow, is that possible? I thought, yes, it's possible. If he can do it, I can do it. But I just have to have the humility to train. To train and take time. And so I saw this opportunity to learn, but at the same time you are doing stuff that is completely different than what other people do, so you will draw attention. And not only good attention, also bad attention, most of the time. So sometimes people like it, sometimes they don't like it. And sometimes they think that you're there to draw attention. For example, if you do a handstand, they think, oh, look at that show off. While for you, it's your training. You know, like somebody doing this and you doing handstand. So sometimes people try to find a way to exile you, to take you out of the gym because you're drawing too much attention. So I got used to this, luckily. So I am adaptable. So I know sometimes you enter the gym and you draw maybe some good attention, but most of the time it is bad attention. And I became, in the beginning, I didn't like it, so I tried to avoid it, I tried to be alone, and then after a while I made the switch. No, you are going to accept me the way I am. Yeah, it's just like in real life. And I have had many confrontations and almost fights, not real fights, but yeah, people want, even the personnel of the gym that want to find a way to get rid of you. And according to the rules that you have, I'm having my towel, I'm having my my equipment of the gym, I have my bag, I have my locking, etc. Still, they want to find a way. They look at your shoes. Do you have shoes that you wear also outside, or do you have a towel? They want to find a way to make you fearful and to go away. But I learned that, so I became actually very resilient to this. So I make sure that I have everything, and when they come to me and want to confront me, I directly go into the attack. I don't have the patience anymore to obey the rules and this and that, because I know how they are. And sometimes this is funny. I'm always in a corner when people come to me and they like to what I do and they want to learn something. So I give them a tip or two, and sometimes I have 2, 3, 4 people in a week that ask me something, and I give them tip and I take my time, because I know how it feels when you train without any guidance. I have done that for many years without guidance, and you can waste time a lot. So I was giving them tips and sharing with them, and then these people of the gym that were clueless, especially the personal trainers, they started to accuse me of giving personal training, while these people are just completely, I don't know them at all, and they say, yeah, you're giving them tips and this. And so I told them, what, should I not talk? Should I talk only about the weather? Oh, so when should I talk and when should I not talk? Right? So you can talk about bullshit, that's fine. But if you talk about some real tip how to perform an exercise correctly, that's not fine. So what do you mean? So in the beginning, again, I was in shock, but then I became more aggressive. And sometimes you should do that, because otherwise others don't know where is the line. Yeah, so you should sometimes show your teeth. And I'm naturally not a violent person at all, and I'm not promoting violence, but I just mean sometimes you should enter a fight before it's actually a fight, because then you can avoid the fight. So like Bruce Lee tells the art of fighting without the fighting. Yeah, in what movie? In Enter the Dragon, when he was on the ship and that guy asked him, I think it was O'Hara, I don't know, but I'm a Bruce Lee fan, very passionate. What do you do? He told him, the art of fighting without fighting. You know, this funny line. So yeah, so this is all a bit of my thought. I know I'm all over the place. It doesn't matter. I also don't want to edit this video so that you viewers see exactly the way I am. I don't like to have these cuts, you know, that you see on the YouTube, because I was strolling around on YouTube to see what other people do, the vloggers, and then you see they talk, and every that moment that is dead, they cut off. So you see this speeches goes like this. Hello everybody. Yeah, now I'm going, and wow, it's completely unnatural. Just stay the way you are, man. We don't need to have another robot. Yeah, so this is also another opinion of me. Be just the way you are. Yeah, the way you are is unique, and we don't want to see another copy something because somebody has 1 million views, so you do exactly the way he does. So you become just a robot. So try to become just you. Yeah, express yourself the way you are. It doesn't have to be very clean or what you think people think of you, etc., etc. Just say what you want to say, and if people like it's fine, and if they don't like it, that is also fine. Talking about likes, like the video below. Alright guys, that was my talk. It was just a rant with some random thoughts about this corona crisis. Thank you very much, and keep following the series Gaining from Disorder, because I will give some more tips, etc., etc. Have a nice